Hello and welcome to Do You Realise That You Have the Most Beautiful Taste? A podcast where I, Nic and Olie, founder of Molly Rose Brewing, host flavour makers, shakers and tasters to dig into where they get their inspiration from. Live on this podcast, we'll grab some of their best ideas and collaborate on a drink, beer or otherwise, and the most delicious part is that you can taste the outcomes when we release the collaborations out into the wild. I'd like to welcome this episode's guest, Olie Ford from Matéo.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming along. I am a huge fan of your drink. I've had it a few times. I met you at a non-alc drink afternoon and found out that we got a bunch of mutual friends.
That's
and
right. Yeah.
really blown away about how delicious your Maté was.
Thanks so much. Yeah, that was very early. I think that was 2 or 3 weeks in, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, you were very confident.
Just fake winging.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks,
that's
man.
good.
Yeah.
Get started.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what Maté is?
Sure. Yeah. So it's a tea, like tea-like leaf. I like to say it's not actually from the tea family, but yeah, comes from South America, sort of Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, south of Brazil. Yeah, Paraguay is where the native people of Paraguay have been drinking it for a very long time. And it's usually drank hot in most places, but in Paraguay they drink it cold and flavoured with different fruits and herbs and on ice. Caffeinated stronger than tea, but not quite as strong as coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my preferred caffeine source.
And when did you get into drinking Maté? Was it in South America?
Yeah, it was actually. I went over there. I was working as a chef here in Melbourne, took a little break, went to South America for a few months, and yeah, started drinking over there.
I guess that was the inspiration to start Matéo.
For sure, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was. I was just had been drinking it for a while, working in kitchens, drinking a lot of coffee, and then crashing a lot, realising that it was making me more tired than if anything. So then I, after going to South America, came back and was just found this the perfect caffeine source for me, really. Kept drinking it and then started playing around at home with sort of cold versions for summer. And yeah, I was playing for ages before I sort of started Matéo. But
Cool.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Were you taking your own little baggies of leaf into the kitchen and mixing stuff up?
Exactly, yeah.
Should we go downstairs and have a taste? I'm pretty keen to try it.
100%.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
do it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What should we start with?
Let's start with the original. Yeah.
Green?
Green one? Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So main flavours in this is coming from the Maté.
Okay, that was the
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really yum.
Yeah. A little bit bitter, but not too bitter. Yeah.
A really cool herbal, fresh,
Delicious, yeah.
bright, great amount of acidity.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
A little bit grassy, but not too
Yeah.
full on intense in the taste.
It's a nice grassiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one? Which one? Ginger or the hibiscus?
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus next?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll just make it like the same way, but obviously just add some hibiscus flowers to this one.
Yep.
A little bit of raspberry juice in there as well.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very pretty and pink.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, lovely. It's got awesome kind of berry nose to it. Yeah. We'll get hibiscus and the raspberry in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
And final one, ginger.
Yeah.
Why'd you go ginger?
Just a bit of fun, spicy, bit of attitude. Kind of have an obsession with ginger beer, so just sort of went in that direction, you know.
Yeah, that's a yum ginger beer too. Have you ever done rum with the ginger one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Had a bucks party the other week. Actually.
Oh, I love it. I love a dark stormy.
Yeah, it goes well. And then tequila with this one is nice too. They all mix pretty well actually.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Have you had any ideas about what kind of drink you want to make?
With you?
Yeah.
I have, yeah.
What do you
I mean,
think?
going along the sort of like no wastage kind of theme. I had an idea, when we make the drinks, there's obviously we use tea bags. And it's we steep it for a really low temperature for quite a long time to get as much sort of basically more for the balance of the flavour really, because it's quite bitter if you take it too high.
Yep.
But there's still a lot of flavour left in the bags afterwards.
Yep.
So I'd love to sort of do a second steep of the bags, and that would most of the caffeine would be gone.
Yep.
So it'll be low caffeine, but you get the Maté flavour from it.
Awesome.
I thought it'd be good with a sort of like a Saison style beer, kind of like a dry but fruity, slightly earthy style.
Sounds
match
good.
for Maté.
Yep.
but
Love it.
that was an idea.
No, I had a very similar idea.
Yeah, cool.
I would love to, and even before we talked about this podcast, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to talk to Olie about him, some of his leftover tea for not wasted beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it'd be great in a saison. They do have a nice bitterness sometimes, a herbal bitterness.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to try just straight Maté and just kind of leave it as Maté and saison, I reckon.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Let's go upstairs and maybe we'll grab some saison and take them upstairs and have a taste.
Let's do that.
Welcome back to the studio, Olie.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have a glass of cold Maté in my hand. It's so delicious.
Thanks, man. Glad you like it.
Yeah, yum. It's making me feel good too.
It is, yeah, it does.
Getting me pumped. I've also got...
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I also brought a couple of saisons up.
Awesome.
So we can have a taste of a few saisons that we've got.
Right.
The first one in the glass is called Olive It Up to You.
Actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's got olive leaf in it. It's got rosemary in it, and it's got some charred orange in it as well.
That is so cool.
It was also blended with some old funky saison too.
Yeah, I can definitely smell the funk. But the olive it's like olive briny. Man, that's so good.
And it's got this
Slightly salty.
textural kind of bitter finish. It gets from all the orange peel and the
that is so good.
and the herbs. So see what I mean when I said like the bitterness of the Maté could be really nice on a dry, crisp finish of the saison.
Would be really nice, especially that second flush, because most of the bitterness out in the first one. So it'd kind of be like a bit of a softer. Because I think otherwise it could be too bitter. So I think it could work really
Great.
well. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first one. So this is When Life Gives You Lemons.
Yes.
We call it a hazy lemon ale, but it's actually a saison.
Cool.
And it's got some lemons from our lemon tree.
Yeah.
This is a bit softer on the bitterness. Been dry hopped just a little bit to give it a little bit of that herbal nature, but it's got top notes of lemon in there. I reckon some ginger Maté in that would be pretty delish. We're already coming up with drinks.
Alright, let's do it. Yeah, yum.
That's pretty delish.
That's really good.
Yeah, we just did it.
Yeah.
Should we go home?
Bang, let's go. Nice to be here.
So the Maté that you use, where do you get the leaf from?
An organic farm in Misiones, which is a region in Argentina. Sort of like a rainforesty region. Super cool farm, doing it in a really good way. It's a really sustainable plant, the Maté plant, the way they farm it. Because there's a lot of farms in that region that are sort of stripping out habitat, which is awful. Yeah, but these guys are actually regenerating, revegetating plots like that, putting in native plants, and the tea that the Maté plant itself has to grow under the canopy of other trees.
Oh, okay.
In shade, so they're planting like heaps and heaps of native vegetation back in, putting a native plant Maté underneath, and then harvesting it.
Cool. What's it look like?
Really
What's the plant look like?
It actually it actually grows on more of a tree compared to tea, like it's a bit bigger, but the leaves look quite similar to a tea leaf.
Hey, cool.
It's actually from the holly plant.
There you go.
The holly family. Yeah, it's a type of holly.
And is it processed at all once it's picked?
Yeah, it's sort of dried and shredded, and traditionally I think they used to smoke it, which ours is air dried for sure. It's quite an intense flavour. The smoked variety. Yeah, so it's just air dried. Yeah.
And how long does it take for a plant to get to kind of maturity? And do they harvest it like every year, like tea, or a couple of times a year? Or
I think they harvest it every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot. I don't know the maturity. I think it actually has to be a couple of years old at least before the harvesting. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And have you noticed when you're experimenting? Obviously, the sustainability of that farm amazing.
Yeah.
Makes the choice pretty easy to go with them. But did you notice different regions and different farms had different flat tasting
100%.
Maté?
Yeah. I mean, there's different sizes, different cuts, different styles. Dried for longer, fresher, greener. In Brazil, in the south of Brazil, they have it a lot greener, so not dried as much, and it's quite finer, like a powder. Really different to the Argentinian style, which is dried for a lot longer and a bit bigger. The cut. Brazilian style's a lot more grassy and herbaceous, and it's like less bitter, but it's more complex, I think, than the Argentinian one, which is, I prefer the Argentinian one, but if I'm drinking a hot tea, I like the Brazilian one, but for some reason I like the sort of edge that the more bitter one gives you.
Yeah. Well, when things are hotter, you can taste them more. So
Yeah,
when they cool down, the flavours are all numbed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to punch it a bit harder.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to come up with the recipe?
I was playing around at home for at least a year, I reckon, and I was making heaps of different like citrus ones and just and then when I sort of realised that I was going to bottle them, then it was maybe a 3 or 4 month process of refining.
And what made you come to that realisation that you wanted to bottle it and release it?
Yeah, I think just loving the tea so much and drinking it and knowing that people don't really understand it and don't, like, most people don't know what it is, and if they do, they have tried it once and probably didn't like it because it's really sensitive to hot water, boiling water, so people try it and it's super bitter and they're like, fuck, that's disgusting. They don't touch it again. But I just wanted to, I just knew that they were young and that I could share it with people in a different way.
Awesome.
You know, like, and also, playing around with different flavours was kind of fun. I haven't really found anyone doing that, so I was like, no one's doing this. I'm not cooking anymore because I've moved to the country during COVID. Now it's the perfect time, so I just kind of went for it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you were chefing in Melbourne?
I was chef, in Melbourne,
How long?
About 8 years I did it for. Worked at Chicholina in St Kilda, did my apprenticeship there. Then I went to French Saloon in the city, above Kirk's. Worked there for 4 years or so. And then moved to the country during COVID.
Yeah.
Still live there. Yeah.
Awesome. And are you cooking in the country now?
No, doing this full time now.
Maté full time?
Full time.
Amazing.
My partner's a farmer, so I help her on the farm a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So your original Maté was in a bottle? I can see you got some beautiful cans now.
Yeah, we're doing
very
cans.
cool.
Yeah.
Who's your target audience? Like, who are you selling Maté to? Who? Yeah, where are you selling it?
Yeah, I mean it's such a versatile thing, but I mean the reason that we started with the bottles. I purely just I love drinking out of a bottle, but I liked being able to see the different colours, which is kind of like through the clear glass, which is how it's presented in Paraguay, and they do it in big glass jugs.
Oh yeah.
You see the different colours, and I just was playing on that. And then like it's been taken on by restaurants and bars and nice wine bars and stuff as grocery stores and things. But I had like a bunch of places, you know, like I don't know. It's kind of like originally it was a tasty drink. Wasn't really thinking about the functionality of it too much. But we had a bunch of rock climbing gyms and swimming pools and some places like that reach out, and places on the beach that can't have glass. And like a bunch of people just kept asking if you could do them in cans, and I just sort of went for it and sure, let's do it. So yeah, it can be a drink that you're just having as a non-alc iced tea, don't think about it too much, or it can be something that you have when you're doing something active or working out or, you know, whatever. Heaps of like football, soccer players drink it.
Really?
Rock climbers, hikers.
Give them that extra bit of juice.
Yeah, it's like a caffeinated, it's just like stronger than tea. Lasts longer than coffee, so that's that kind of thing. We wanted to have both vessels. For whichever.
Have you had a surprising type of customer? Has anyone bought you're like, wow, I did not expect you to get stuck into the Maté?
The non-alc world, when I started it, honestly, I didn't even really like think about that whole world. It wasn't a non-alc drink. I didn't want it to be like in that world necessarily. I didn't really think about it too much. But when we started it, I had bottle shops and bars and stuff hit me up and be like, oh, but we want to expand our non-alc. It's this huge kind of movement. And I was like, okay, cool. And that's been a surprising world for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
I just saw it as an iced tea or a soft drink and something that you could. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a big kind of compliment to you, making a really delicious layered complex drink that people can substitute with a fermented like alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that means you've nailed it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you have. It's delicious.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
What's been a great food or drink moment that you've had recently?
Oh, cool. Good question. Recently my brother lives down in Red Hill. We went out to Tedesca, which just was unbelievable. I've been there twice now, growing all their veggies and all local stuff, and cooked on the grill, a lot of it. Just, it's always so good. They do like a meze kind of style at the beginning, lots of different little bits, I think last time we had like koftas and Cypriot style flatbread. I think we had grilled mackerel.
Amazing.
Little snacks, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And then I'll follow that up straight away.
Yeah.
Now that you're thinking back, you got to think back even further this time.
Yeah.
Do you remember your earliest flavour memory?
Oh, that's such a good question. I have heaps because my dad's a pastry chef.
Yep.
And just like such a big food obsessed family, and he was such a good cook, and like dinners every night I feel like he made something special, even if it was just like, you know, chicken and rice or something. But yeah, I remember he would pick us up from school, and it would be like the first question I'd say is, "What's for dinner?" You know, kind of thing. But
awesome.
I don't know, what's coming to me is he started this little cookie business called Mr. Ford's Biscotti.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'd come home he would work from home making cookies and biscotti. And he'd come home from school and there'd just be this like huge mountain of cookies on the table. It was like, you know, the best thing. You'd come home from, and just walk in and
grab a couple of cookies.
Yeah, and your mates would always want to come over and eat cookies.
Totally.
That's jumping out of me.
I mean, the smell of the house would be incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that's every kid's dream, is to walk into a house with a mountain of cookies that you can just let us dig into.
Yeah, and even like the little dry store that he had that was sort of under the stairs, but it was like had all the chocolate buttons in it and stuff. And sort of just like sneak in there and grab a few chocolate buttons, macadamia nuts. Oh,
so good. So obviously your inspiration to start cooking.
Yeah, for sure, came to him. Yeah, he was more pastry, kind of dessert.
Yeah,
he's so good. Definitely came to him. Yeah, when I was 18 or something, I started washing dishes at Chicholena, which is where he was a chef when I was growing up, and got a job there, and then kind of just got into it through that, you know.
Awesome.
I think I had to fill in for the apprentice one day or something. He didn't turn up, and classic.
And then that is so classic. Then you're like, I can't put this down now. I'm not allowed to.
I was obsessed. And like, it was hard to find chefs, so they were pretty quick to, you know, push me into it.
Awesome.
Went for it. Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
What's next for Maté? Do you have another flavour coming out soon? Do you have a collab? Do you going exporting to Paraguay?
No, definitely not exporting. I've got some flavours on the cards, yeah. Some fruit forward ones that I've got on the burner for sure.
Awesome.
But probably not till next year.
Now, I have to get back on track because we totally went off track then.
Cool.
We got to come up with a beer. So
yeah. Well,
it said downstairs, second steep of the Maté.
Yeah.
So when you brew it, I guess bring it in, and we'll brew the beer on the day or the day after you've got the tea from your production.
Yeah. Thinking what I could do is, because we usually steep it, extract it, and then I'll do the extraction straight away after it, and then I'll bring over however many litres we need.
Yep. Bring
it straight here and chill it. You've got a cool room here, obviously.
We do have a cool room, yeah.
Just chill it down.
Yep.
And then.
Oh, if you bring the tea, we can put it straight into our.
Oh yeah.
Either into a tank.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. Let's do that.
Yeah. You can put it in the tank. Oh, I mean, we can add the liquid if you want to.
Oh, whatever works, man.
The brew, we boil. Goes to 100 degrees. Yeah. Then we transfer it off into the fermentation tank.
Yeah, okay.
So we just steep the tea straight in the fermentation tank.
Okay, like a cold brew almost. Oh, let's do that. That'd be super subtle, but yeah.
Or we could do both.
Yeah.
How about you do a low temp steep to bring some liquid, and then we'll bring the tea and we'll do a bit of a blend and see what happens. Awesome. If we add the liquid and it's not enough, we can put the tea into the tank and see, because we dry hop with hops obviously, and aromatics and flavours come out. And
cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
What kind of ABV are you thinking?
I was just thinking
for someone that makes a non-alc drink. Do you like boozy beer or?
I mean, if we're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
You know. Otherwise, it's you do a few non-alc beers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm thinking you want 7% or 4% or?
I think 4%.
Yeah.
Cool. I can just make it more kind of smashable.
Yeah.
I think so.
And is there anything you've been dying to get in with your Maté, like any other flavours? Do you have another thing on the back burner that you?
Good question. Yeah, there's definitely a few flavours that I'm thinking.
Because we could add an extra flavour in to kind of play with the Maté as well.
Yeah, cool. Citrus is amazing.
Yeah, great.
And like orange would be really good, but you've done that with your last saison.
We could always add extra orange.
Yeah.
I like orange.
Yeah. Anything citrus is amazing.
Okay, cool. We've got a bunch of citrus extracts that I did using our Rotor app
Okay. Cool.
earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So I've got Tangelo, I've got blood orange,
Oh, cool.
I've got kumquat,
Oh, awesome.
I've got lemon and Caracara orange.
Wow. They all sound amazing. Are they
Yeah.
separate or are they?
They're all separate.
Yeah, okay. What's the deal with Caracara orange?
It's kind of like a cross between a navel and a blood orange.
Okay.
It's just got a blush to it. Just
Wow.
tastes like an orange. Just like a yum orange.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That could be good.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we can do. The good thing about that is it's highly concentrated extract, so we can just make the beer, get the tea in, and then we put it on the table and add as much as we like
That sounds
to
cool.
bring it into.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for coming in, Ollie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cannot
Yeah,
wait
pleasure.
to make a Maté beer.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
And then we can, launch it at the brewery sometime. Have a Maté party.
Sounds good. Fun.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah. Cool.
Very
Cheers,
good.
mate.
Thank you. Cheers.